Hey guys, how's it going? F8 Alpha here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on World of Tanks, and we're having a look at the newest addition in the premium shop. We're having a look at the STG and the STG Guard. Now let's go ahead and get into the price point here. The STG is being sold for $43.99 for the basic bundle. And of course that includes a tank and a garage slot. The loaded bundle is $58.99. It includes the tank, a garage slot, an enhanced gunline drive, a large gun rammer, vertical stabilizers, and 1,500 gold. And of course the ultimate bundle for $99.99 includes the tank, a garage slot, enhanced gunline drive, large caliber gun rammer, vertical stabilizer, 20 personal reserves, a plus 200% crew XP for 2 hours, a multiplier of 5 XP for the first 15 wins in the STG, and the additional 3,000 gold. But what does the STG have to offer that is not already in the game? And for that answer, I went ahead and I set up a comparison so we can see what the STG is all about. For this comparison, I am going to be comparing the STG to the Object 416 and to the T54 Mod 1. So let's go ahead and get straight into it here. Now we're looking at firepower, we're looking at DPM. The STG is the lowest DPM in this comparison. It has 1,743, followed by the T54 Mod 1 at 1,955. And of course we have the Object 416 at 2,500, making it the highest DPM tank in this comparison. But to get a better picture of these tanks and their gun performance, let's go ahead and look at the penetration and alpha damage. The penetration in the STG is 212. The Object 416 has a 201 millimeter penetration, and the T54 Mod 1 has 190 millimeters of penetration. Now the alpha damage is obviously in the favor of the STG, as it is running that 122 millimeter. I will say this 122 millimeter is very good, and we will get a little bit more into it when it comes to gun handling. But for the alpha damage, the 390 is outstanding on the STG, followed by the Object 416 at 320, and the T54 Mod 1 has a 250 alpha damage per shot potential. Now when it comes to reload times, the Object 416 and the T54 Mod 1 have a 7.6 second reload time, and the STG is almost double that at 13.4 second reload time. Let's go ahead and look at the aim times here, and this is going to be very interesting for this 122 millimeter. It has a 2.4 second aim time, which is outstanding for a 122 millimeter, where the Object 416 is 2.2 second aim time, and the T54 Mod 1 has a 2.1 second aim time. Also, another outstanding characteristic of this 122 millimeter is the dispersion or accuracy. It is a .32, which is superb for a tier 8 medium tank. The T54 and the Object 416 have a .35, meaning that they are less accurate than the STG. A quick note is that the STG does have 6 degrees of gun depression, which is actually fairly good for a rear turreted tank. The Object 416 has 3 degrees of gun depression, and the T54 Mod 1 has 7 degrees of gun depression. Let's go ahead and race on over to the mobility department. The T54 is the slowest in comparison at 44 kilometers an hour. The Object 416 and the STG have a very good 50 kilometer an hour top speed. They also have a 20 kilometer reverse speed, which is fairly good. But to get a better picture of the mobility, let's go ahead and look at the power to weight ratio. The STG has a 14.2 power to weight ratio. The Object 416 has a 16.6 power to weight ratio, and the T54 Mod 1 has a 14.6 power to weight ratio. A quick note is that the STG and the Object share the joint best terrain resistances in this comparison. The turret traverse of the STG is 36.5. The Object 416 has a 41.7, as well as the T54 with a 41.7. Now the hull traverse on the STG is 46.9. The Object 416 has a 54.2, and the T54 Mod 1 has a 43.8 hull traverse on it. Now looking at the armor and hit points of these tanks, the STG has 100 millimeters on the front of the hull, 45 at the sides, and 45 at the rear. The turret on the STG is 210 at the front, 180 at the sides, and 45 at the rear. The Object 416 has 75 at the front of the hull, 45 at the sides, and 45 at the rear. The turret on the 416 is 101 at the front, 75 at the sides, and 45 at the rear. And of course, the T-54 Mod 1, which is kind of known for its armor, has 120 at the front, 90 at the sides, and 45 at the rear of the hull. The turret on the T-54 is 200 at the front, 120 at the sides, and 75 at the rear. Now, when we're looking at hit points, it is good news for the STG as it has the highest hit points in this comparison with 1,350, followed by the T-54 Mod 1 at 1,300, and the Object 416 at 1,200. A quick note when it comes to view range is that the STG is the slouch in this comparison. It has 370, where the other two tanks have 380. Also, the STG has only a 12% chance of catching fire. You could go ahead and drop that fire extinguisher and exchange it for rations if that is your cup of coffee. Now, when it comes to equipment, I would recommend the gun rammer, I would recommend vertical stabilizers, and I would recommend ventilation. For the crew and their skills, for the commander, I would recommend Sixth Sense. For the driver, I would recommend off-road driving. For the gunner, I'd recommend Snapshot. And for the loader, I would recommend, of course, Safe Stowage, as the last thing you want is to be ammo wrecked and have your turret blown off. How to play this tank? This tank is very much a support tank. It does not have the armor to be a frontline brawler like the T-54 Mod 1. This tank is very much a second string or second row tank to offer that 122mm damage potential on the enemy. You will basically sit behind the heavy tanks and let them absorb the shots and poke out and fire when the opportunity arises. Or alternatively, you can go ahead and flank with other mediums and do that 390 alpha damage when you come across the enemy. My personal thoughts on the STG, I think if you're looking for a support tank, if you're looking for a quicker medium tank that offers quite a bit in the way of firepower, this is a tank for you. This is not a T-54 Mod 1, which is well known for its armor and bouncing potential. This tank is not going to bounce too many shots. This tank is basically just going to go ahead and take that damage directly to the hit points there. But if you're looking for that awesome alpha damage potential, you're looking to go ahead and finish off enemies that are in the 350 range, and this is a great tank for you. You can definitely zip around the battlefield at the end or towards the end of a battle and go ahead and finish off a good number of tanks with this nasty 122mm that is on the STG. And with that said, guys, that's my comparison, that's my guide and review of the STG. I am F8 Alpha, and I will catch you guys next time.